guys, welcome back. In this video I'll be covering the Azure search. So in order to start off, I'll be in the previous video I mentioned that how the SQL there were several commands which are related to SQL in which we develop, and how you can connect these things with the Azure search. And in this video I'll be covering the first documentation, and then I'll be going to the implementation with the SQL and NoSQL both, and how it is done with the Azure search. So first you need to have some prerequisites, as I mentioned, Node.js, Docker, MySQL and MongoDB. These two are optional. You can either choose one of them and work with it. And you can search queries, view indexes, create and drop, and you have the count and the facets. So and all of them are supported with the SQL and NoSQL both. And you have the guide here, how to run the MySQL project, how to run the MySQL server, and how to run the NoSQL server. We'll be covering this more with the implementation part. And this is how the UI will be looks like. This is the home page, and then you can go to the one of the SQL or NoSQL, and you have the buttons here where you can view the indexes, add index, drop an index, and count facets. And in the count you have several parameters as well. I'll be covering them later. And you have the parameters here on how to create the index, and you need to give this details in the configurations file if you are using your own database. You can see configurations, index name. You can define the index name and what are the index columns you have to have, and what are the NoSQL columns likewise, and how the format would be how the format is given. And after setting that, you can either go and click the button, or maybe go to the call the URL with the get method, and it will be automatically created, or drop, or whatever it is. And when it comes to the API, the count, in the count you have supported up to you have supported up to top, skip and order by, and you can see how the sample APIs are called with the get API. And all these things have been running with the Node.js and the Express. We have developed in this emulator by ourselves, and you can see how the screenshots and everything. So and then you have the facets. In the facet you can define the category and the count. Up to that it is supported at the moment, and that's it. So let's get started with the Azure search. First, what you need to do is you have to have the databases up and running. So I'll cover both of them right now, and let's go and click on SQL search. So I'll start the SQL server. In the meantime, I'll go and run the other server, MongoDB. So in the MongoDB, you have the steps here. You have to install the MongoDB, and then you can import the mock data CSV. I have already done that, so I'll be skipping that part and go to run the server. MongoDB and Mongo. Right. So you won't be needing any of these things because you have already started it, and still the MySQL is starting. Yes, now both databases have been up and running. For the MySQL, you need to have several configurations. You just copy these configurations and then paste it. Yeah, that's it. And then you need to have a database and with some data. So say a similar set of data have been provided with the mock data as well. Yes, I'll be covering this. All right, the commands are running. So this is a sample dataset I'm using. All right, so this is imported to the NoSQL database, and the queries have been run at the moment. All right, all the databases have been set up successfully. Now let's go and start with the Azure search. In order to start this, you can run it with CLocal Azure start. Let's mention here CLocal search start. All right, it tells me that both connections have been success, and you can go to this URL. Yes, and you can select either one of them as you want, and you can either work with the API, calling the API with the GET request as well. And if you want to search some fun, like, let's see, okay, Carlo, the first one. It mentioned me like you need to have the index first. So in this area, what you have to do is you need to create the index, and these searches have been done with the indexes. Search with the index. So in order to do that, what you have to do is go to Azure search, and there's a configuration file here, right? So here you have some different parameters like the localhost and the port, and how the DB service is working, and the MongoDB, and database name, database user, password, and then you can define the database table name, what are the searchable options you have, and you can use filters like the first name, last name, email. It depends on your requirement. And you can have you need to mention your index name here and index columns, and for this is for the SQL and this is for the NoSQL. You need to have this format clearly here, and give the commands, and you have the NoSQL connect here, and SQL. So these are the things you have to configure first, and then work on it. And let's see, so let me go back, and you don't have any index. This is a primary one, and you go here and you can add the index. It is added now, and with this you can go back and view the index. Now you have to, this is the one we have created. All right, now the search is done with the index search. Now you are getting the what you call the data here. So likewise, you have the column 1, column 2, and column 3, and you have the data here. And let's go and drop it back. You drop the connection, you drop the index, and again when you search it won't come. Likewise, and you have the count here and the facets. In the count, you first get all the things here, and you can have the top 10 here. So it would give me only top 10 here, top 10 results, and then you can have skip the first 10 and get the other 10, and it would give me like from starting from the 11. And you can have the order by with the gender, likewise. And you can call these APIs with the get request here, and I can go with first name, so it would sort me out likewise with the starting from A to A again. Yes, and from the facet it would give you some other parameters here as well. So you can give the first name and the count, and it would retrieve me the facet values here. And likewise, you can have these things with the NoSQL as well. Here you don't have any indexes, so you can go ahead and create the index. So it created these indexes with the columns, and then you can view the index here likewise, and you can go and search for the same name as Carlo, and it would give me the results here. And let's go with the count. It's the same similar technique what we're having here as well. You can have top one and likewise top one with the size 10, and you can have the gender as order by with the email, and if you go 10 you can see more here, and you have the facets as well. You can add the values. So here you will get an account, and there are 3 Duffys, 3 Lionels, and 2 Menlins likewise. And yeah, that's it for the Azure search. You can see the project was done with the CLocal, the emulation, and I hope you have a good idea. If you have any problems with this, please raise an issue in the GitHub project. And thank you very much for listening.